Welcome to Topic Talks, where we talk about the topics you care about and leave out the ones you don't.
We talk about what most news sources don't.
Welcome to Topic Talks, where we talk about the topics you care about and leave out the ones you don't.
We talk about what most news sources don't. Media, movies, and the multiverse.
We even invite guests to come talk topics with us.
Come join in on the fun.
Let's get started. Okay, that was super weird. I don't know why it stopped like that. Technical glitches, apparently. Hello, everyone out. Welcome to Topic Talks. I'm your host, Aaron Klingsmith, and joining me today for the first time is... Why can I not think of your name? Oh.
Starts with a G.
I know it starts with a G. Gordon. Thank you.
Yeah,
Gordon.
there we go.
Holy crap. Today is not a good day.
Yeah.
So is Gordon joining with me. How are you doing, Gordon?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely amazing. Yourself?
Well, apparently not as good as I thought I was doing. Technical glitches, and I'm forgetting people's names. Man, it's been a day. Anyway, so Graham and I keep thinking Graham.
I just talked to Graham a couple days ago. Actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, he was at the football game down at Heartland for Grand Blanc. We actually beat him 29-14.
Wait, did he transfer schools? Or is he at Grand Blanc?
No, he graduated last year.
He graduated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah. Okay, so Gordon and I have known each other
Yes.
for a while through Boy Scouts. Graham and I have known each other for a while through Boy Scouts as well. But either way, and I just found out today he's going into broadcasting. I kind of had a slight hint through some stuff he was doing with his Snapchat, which is really cool. And that's pretty much it. I'm just friends with you on Snapchat and Facebook, and I've seen some stuff you did, so that was pretty cool. So I thought I'd have you on the show, and I'm super excited. Hopefully I can make it through the show in one piece, because apparently I can't even do my own intro right. So
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Man, well, obviously I like broadcasting. I actually announced for our baseball team back at Grand Blanc. I do a lot of video production, all that good stuff. I haven't really messed with the audio side, but I'm intrigued by it. I think it's a new, interesting challenge. Curiosity is a big thing.
It's fantastic.
And I mean, the whole side of journalism is kind of based off of, curiosity. And I think that's, the more you learn, the more you do, the more exciting it gets. So yeah,
Very much so.
I'm from the same troop as Aaron. Got my Eagle Scout in 2015, really heavily involved in our venturing program, which is basically co-ed Boy Scouts, but the best way to put that is that we do things that Boy Scouts don't, and we have girls in our program, so that makes it better as well. And I'm in charge of it for the the Mitten of Michigan, which we like to call the Michigan Crossroads Council. So a lot of fun there. I do a lot. I barely.
I was
going to
say, I think you don't sleep at all.
Yeah.
If I remember your Snapchat, you're like, I've been up since like 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll see how this goes. And I'm like, dude, you need to go to bed.
That was crazy. Usually, in the summertime, I'd always pull all-nighters because if I tried going to sleep, then it would just be hard for me to get up. So I could do 3, 4, 5 hours of work and get a crap ton done. And then next thing you know, you're starting your day and you're getting moving. As long as you stay moving, you don't stay too tired. And
Right.
Shots of espresso too. That's important. Coffee.
Coffee is very important to anything. Yeah, I mean, I did quite a bit. When I was interning at the Blaine Fowler Morning Show, I had to be up super early in the morning.
Oh.
And because it's an hour away from here, I
Yeah.
had to be up even earlier.
Yeah.
Because I think I had to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning, which meant I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, which made for some very long days.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wake up at 3 a.m. and then what time would you get home at?
Well, the show ended about, I'm trying to remember. It ended about 9 o'clock because they did a thing at the end of the show called the Almost 9 O'Clock Riddle, and that was kind of the last portion.
Wow.
Because my part of the job, or my internship, what my job was to ultimately take. So they're sitting in their studio because they have the morning show studio, and then we're sitting in the studio that everybody else uses. So they give all the controls over to the morning show studio. I sit in the other studio, and we're able to record what they're saying. So every time they start talking, we record that. We'll take it and we'll edit it down. Like we'll cut off, the beginning and the end where he'll say, "Oh, the weather is this," and because it was a pretty much the same format every time, I could pretty much just record, and then he'll go, because he'll pause and he'll go, I heard this the other day, and so I'd cut everything right before that. So all you'd hear on the podcast is, the other day I heard this thing, so it sounded kind of natural. So we cut that up to make it sound pretty good, because they don't care what the weather is, they don't care what time it is.
Yeah.
When you're listening to a podcast later.
Yeah.
So we kind of cut out some of the irrelevant stuff, and then we upload it to their Audio Boom account, and so we do that. There's actually there was two interns, now there's three. One of them would do all the editing and things like that. They'd move the commercials around in the software, and the other one's taking phone calls and keeping track of what's being talked about. They do what's called the show notes, so it's got just like columns, and then the first thing that they talk about, you just come up with a fancy title for it, and then kind of a description or like a teaser, and that's what goes in, because you're the one that's actually uploading them. The other person's doing all the editing for it and saving it into a database. Actually it's like a shared file. Then you pull it out of that shared file, you upload it, and then you throw your name on it and your little fun little teaser. So that was kind of what we did, and so at about we do the almost 9 o'clock riddle, and then we were pretty much done for the show. Then we started about 90 minutes of commercial free music, and so at that point we were pretty much done. And then I would just drive home, and it did depend. Some days I'd go in the morning show studio and we'd sit there and talk for a little bit, because they'd do some show prep, talk about, we could talk about that tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'd go in there and tease with them a little bit,
Have
just because they were awesome.
Have like a kumbaya circle talking about what's in the news.
Well, they're just fantastic people, and they're super funny. I was always entertained whenever I stay. Actually, about Halloween last year, I got to see Mike Posner in a private performance at the station. And he dressed up like Gumby. It was kind of funny. He came in dressed like Gumby, but he gave a phenomenal performance last year, and it was all acoustic. It sounded awesome, and but I sat there all day because he didn't perform until like noon or 1, and I've been there since 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well,
4 o'clock, maybe 3:30ish, depending on how early I got up, and so I was there from 4 o'clock in the morning until about noon, and then I drive home and maybe take a nap, and I think that was because I would intern 2 days a week. It was Fridays and Mondays. And then I started this show when I was at Specs. Like I said, I went my second marking period in. I'm like, I'm gonna be messing with mixers next marking period. I'm gonna get one of my own, just something small. And then it kind of just blossomed, and a friend and I got together, and we're like, we'll do a podcast. And he was only there half the time, and I had a hard time finding guests. I did one show by myself in the early times, which is horrible. Don't go back and listen to it. It's really bad.
Don't do that. All right.
And so we kind of started it up, and it kind of just blossomed into this big thing. Well, I moved into my new house where I'm at right now. I bought this big, nice wooden desk off a friend, and the gray desk you have is one that I already had. I just kind of upgraded my set. It just bits by bits, piece by piece, I upgraded everything. Actually, the headphones you're wearing are headphones that I got from Specs.
Oh, really?
Because in your tuition that you pay, you get like headphones, you get an adapter, you get a Chromebook, which is actually the Chromebook you're using.
Oh, wow.
You get a Chromebook. So
they just give it to you with your tuition.
Well, I mean, technically you're paying for it with your tuition. But you
look at it as,
right.
I'm getting all this stuff.
I'm getting all this
great.
stuff.
This place is pretty great.
Right. So it was one of those that, I just kind of bit by bit, piece by piece, and then I bought these headphones for me, and I bought another set of those so they'd match, and, I bought monitors off of used, and so, I mean, some of this is used, some of it's new, some of it's, stuff that I already had that I integrated into my system. So,
it's quite a setup. I love it.
I think so.
It's
I really enjoy it.
Walking into like a a little radio station.
Well, and and depending on what radio station you go into, it's just as messy too. I mean, you go into the morning show studio and they get bras hanging on the wall and or hanging from the ceiling, and no, the morning show studio was phenomenal because it was always full of surprises. Like they had a giant tub of Mr. Potato Head parts because
Oh.
I guess they did this relay, and part of the relay was to put a Mr. Potato Head together as
Oh.
fast as you could,
Huh.
and that was something that I missed out on. But
That'd be interesting.
no, so radio is a really 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 cool business. Because there's a lot of fun things. There was one time that the actual morning show host decided he wanted to try. There was a note on one of the toilets in the studio
Oh.
that said it was a low flow toilet, and please don't put any And so they're like, oh, it was pretty much like don't put anything silly in it or something like that. So he decided he was gonna put peeps down the toilet. It didn't work out because he didn't break them up. If he break them up, it would have been funnier. But he just dumped the 2 packages in there. And then we're like, well, that sucked.
Huh.
But all you see is all of us just heading to the bathroom, and we open up the door.
It's like, I'll walk in together, I'll walk out. It's like, what just went on in there?
Well, and it was like a one-person bathroom, so that, like, the door was just held wide open. And it was
Huh.
No,
Actually,
it was a great time.
I was surprised. I utilized a 1-person bathroom for 2 people because it was me and my friend, and I was like, you know what? No, I gotta go to the restroom. And the guy's like, yeah, I do too. I'm like, all right. So we go to it, we open it up, like, oh, you know what? There's a toilet and a urinal. You know what? This is gonna work.
This is gonna work. I like it. That's what I call a 2-holer.
I mean, it works. I mean,
it does. It really does. So I want to. There's something else that works really well. And is not bathroom related. It is extreme couponing.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So
Heard about this.
there's this woman in Texas who loves to extreme coupon, and she put those skills to good use when it came to helping hurricane victims. She's in San Antonio, Texas, and she is apparently addicted to couponing. And she's trying to think of what she wanted to do to help. And so she came up with a good idea. Her name's Kimberly Gasser, Gasser. Gasser, that's what I'm gonna go with.
Huh.
She's helped dozens of families so far, who have stopped by her home and picked up goods after hearing her generosity. So pretty much what she's doing is she's using her extreme couponing skills to buy bulk of everything.
Oh.
I mean, if you go in our description below, it'll be the first link. There is you click on that link and it just shows you all these different. I think there's like toilet paper and paper towel and just all these different things that she's bought.
Shampoo.
Shampoo using her couponing methods, and I think a lot of it's. Let's see. There's some gloves.
So
a lot of them are baby diapers.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of it is. Baby diapers, Viva paper towel rolls, along with Scott's. It's like a store.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, just the necessity is like toilet paper and like things like that. Like that's what people need.
Right.
Oh, that's such a cool shot with like her with the receipt. I like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, the receipt's like a sash.
Yeah.
Or longer than a sash.
That's like as long as like an OA sash, like you know, or the era.
It's longer than that.
Yeah. Wow.
So she said, or she's also making personal deliveries. You can come to her house to get stuff, or she'll make some personal deliveries, for some of those who were displaced in the storm and are in nearby hotels. And there was a girl who said, I looked up on Facebook and sent her a message this morning, and she responded right away. 2 hours later, there she is. I'm very grateful that these are necessities we don't have the cash for right now, and we're going to have to, or I've gone to church for help, but didn't get as much there as she helped us.
Wow.
I hope God blesses her in every way possible. This is awesome. So that was just one person. There's a few other quotes. If you go in, like I said, go into the description, look at the picture. There's the article right there. There's a lot of these quotes, and it's just, I mean, this is just amazing. This is one of the things that makes me happy, because, and like I said, actually there's shampoo. If you look in the corner, there's shelves with like shampoo and stuff.